would you like to improve your health and keep your family safe? You're listening to the Healthy Home Hacks Podcast, where we firmly believe enjoying optimal health shouldn't be a luxury. Healthy Home Authorities and husband and wife team Ron and Lisa will help you create a home environment that will level up your health. It's time to hear from the experts. Listen in on honest conversations and gain the best tips and advice. If you're ready to dive in and improve your well-being and increase your energy, you're in the right place. All right, here are your hosts, biobiologists, authors, media darlings, vicarious vegans, and avocado aficionados, Ron and Lisa Barris.
Spring has officially sprung, and for most of us, that means, you guessed it, spring cleaning. Yeah, right? So the question is, do you have a pile of laundry waiting for you to scrub, suds, fluff, and fold? If so, you're certainly not alone. In the US, 660 million laundry loads are washed every week, totaling a whopping 35 billion loads each year. But have you ever considered what's lurking in your laundry detergent? Could your laundry detergent be toxic to your health and the environment? The short answer is yes.
From phosphates and dyes to synthetic surfactants, optical brighteners, parabens, synthetic fragrances, and chlorine bleach. Did you know mixing bleach with other chemicals like ammonia creates deadly toxic fumes that, if inhaled, could be fatal? Your laundry detergent is likely exposing you and your family to a host of toxic chemicals, allergens, respiratory irritants, hormone disruptors, and maybe even a cancer-causing chemical, 1,4-dioxane. 1,4-dioxane isn't an ingredient added to detergent, but yeah, our guest is putting a thumbs down and I am underlining that. It's not an ingredient, but it's a byproduct created by mixing ethylene oxide and sodium lauryl sulfate, SLS, a foaming agent. The EPA classifies 1,4-dioxane as a probable human carcinogen. Guys, that's all pretty important when you consider your skin is your largest organ and can absorb up to 60% of what goes on it.
Not to mention the plastic waste that your laundry jug is adding to the landfills. According to the EPA, over 26 million tons of plastic waste were dumped in the landfills in the US alone. Out of 35 million tons of plastic produced in the US each year, only 3 million tons are ever recycled. To add fuel to the laundry jug fire, this plastic can take more than 100 years to break down.
But the environmental buck doesn't stop there. Laundry detergent is a major source of microplastic pollution, with a single load releasing up to 700,000 microplastic fibers into the water. We know that these microplastics can harm marine life and eventually enter into the food we eat. Our guest today, Anita Spiller, leads ESG for True Earth, one of Canada's fastest growing companies. Anita's work and life are characterized by leaving the planet better than she found it. She is also a United Church minister.
True Earth is a certified B Corp global household cleaning product company, and Anita's job is to focus on eliminating household single-use plastics, battling microplastics, and donating earth-friendly products to organizations in need. Bravo, and welcome to the show, Anita. Yeah!
You guys are bringing the energy today.
Hey, you brought it and we're matching it.
Thank you for having me. I am thrilled to be here today.
Thank you so much for being here. This is going to be an awesome show, and we are thrilled to have you. So let's get started. Now, our listeners are pretty savvy, but when they hear the terms eco-friendliness and sustainability, that can mean a lot of different things to a lot of different people. Can you share with our listeners what some of the key issues True Earth's cleaning solutions aim to solve?
Excellent question. And we have a bunch, but I might just start with our core battle. Our core battle is in the plastic packaging. Plastic waste, as you started with, Ron, at the very beginning, is a massive global problem. And we think that making small changes by your viewers is going to make a huge difference in the world. And the onus should not be on them. The onus should be on us as organizations, as producers, to innovate the solutions that can bring the future that they want. If we want to see a future without plastic in our homes, which I, for one, battle that every single day, then we can purchase the future that we want. If you don't want to see plastic in your household, then stop buying it.
Yeah, be the change.
And I know
Gandhi said it best. Be the change
super
you wish to see
hard,
in the
right?
world.
Because like I love my yogurt and it only comes in a plastic tub. So I need someone to innovate.
Right.
So I myself can make that change.
Yeah.
Anita, I love that because you're like, the onus is on us. This is one of the first times I've heard basically a company, in essence, through you, say that, right? Because most people are putting all the responsibility on the consumer to make the right decision, but you're making it such an easy lift for them to not live a plastic toxic life, right?
And part of it is, we can do all kinds of things in this battle against global plastic, right? We can purchase with our dollars. We can vote at that voting booth. We can make the change and help people also to do that. But our critical cause is to make true, lasting change that helps save the planet.
Yeah.
And we can't do that if we continue to use single-use and short-lived plastics. We just have to say no.
We have to say no. Just say no. Our readers are really savvy. We talk about microplastics a lot in our weekly newsletter, and from showing up in our drinking water, most people's drinking water, to the meat. This big study came out about it showing up in meat. We know it's in our food. I'm going to plug you here. You guys actually prevented 160 million plastic containers from being created. That's like bravo. Okay. And you're just getting started, right? I mean, you're fairly a new company-ish.
Yeah.
Nita's it's 160 million in one, right? No, how much? No.
Well, and more. We're at about 170 million and counting.
Oh, wow. Okay. That's great. Wow.
Oh, Brooke is telling me 175. Oh, boy,
175. Let's get these numbers straight.
Let's get the mathematicians out here, right? Let's count.
But it's a big number because it matters, right?
Yeah, it matters.
It matters because plastic waste is bad for the health of the people and the planet. And most people know that. But it is also our job as organizations and major CPG companies to educate people.
Education is a huge part of it, right? I mean, if everyone saw a landfill and saw the destruction to wildlife, it would be so many things, right? But like you said, it's convenient. And we used to drink plastic bottled water like so many Americans until we smartened up and realized and started filtering our own water, which has been many, many years at this point. But once you stop drinking out of plastic bottles, not only are you reducing your microplastic intake, but the water tastes better, guys. Like water out of glass and stainless steel has a different energy. You're not getting endocrine disrupting chemicals to leach and these microplastics and all of that. And it goes with our laundry too, because these plastics, as we know, when they break down, are getting back into the waterways. So
now,
and I think it's important, right? I mean, we're always looking, and we commissioned a study on human health recently. And more than 2/3 of Americans are aware of the connection between a single-use plastic and the negative impact they have on their health. But only 1 in 5 can explain or articulate why that matters. And they certainly don't know what to do about it.
Really? That's interesting.
Yeah.
If you ask them why it matters, what did they say?
They sort of give these like loosey-goosey, it's like, well, I maybe heard that it's like in our water system, or maybe it's in the food we eat, or maybe I heard about this recent meat study.
Right.
So understanding the issues requires collective and unified strategies from all of us, including informing consumers like you're all doing. I love this podcast. Let's break down the myths. Let's talk about what is true and real. And the other great thing about our survey was that 83% of Americans were committed to making a small change to reduce their plastic pollution.
Wow.
So that's super encouraging.
That's encouraging. We got to do it, guys. Like, do something. This today, what you're going to learn today. Yeah. Well, baby steps. And today is a really easy switch.
Absolutely. I guarantee there's a listener right now going, okay, well, I like the idea of this eco-friendly laundry detergent, right? I don't understand how it's not in plastic. So Anita, for this listener, or these listeners who are having that question, can you tell us more about True Earth's EcoStrip and how they compare to traditional liquid laundry detergent, which is in plastic containers, normally the traditional ones?
Not just in plastic containers, also in water.
Ooh, right.
So here's how it started, right? When you look at your plastic container, about 80% of it is just water. And 20% of it are the ingredients we need to either clean or refresh our clothing, which are 2 very different things. And we can talk about that later if you would like.
We want to be refreshed, Anita, so please tell us.
There you go. Right now? Okay.
No, we'll get to that in a minute.
We'll get to that. Okay. So we were the OGs, we were the original on this, a single eco strip that equates to 1 load of laundry.
You guys were the first ones to create that?
We were the first.
Oh my goodness.
Wow.
It's highly concentrated. So we took all of that cleaner that normally comes in water and we packed it all down that it's so compact that it literally is this big. So a month's worth of laundry is the size of your iPhone.
Yeah.
And it does not require
a month is the size of your iPhone.
a month's worth of laundry.
Wow.
The size of your iPhone.
Yeah. It's like,
so we have just really compacted. It's super, super, super concentrated. So you take one strip and it equals one load of laundry.
One load.
And it prevents that giant pack. We don't need that giant packaging anymore.
Right. Because like you said, we're shipping water. I mean, I think that goes with other things too, household cleaning products and things like that, where everybody's paying. No one's winning in that situation because you're paying as the consumer for the shipping of that water. The manufacturer's paying for the shipping of that water. And it's like makes so much sense to have this concentrated form that's not only saving money, it's also saving space in your laundry room. And if you're like Ron and I, you have a little laundry room, you don't have a lot of storage.
Yeah. If you live in a high density city, then space is really at a maximum, right?
Right.
So
if you're in New York City, forget it.
Forget it.
Forget it.
And I don't want my 88-year-old mom to be lugging home this big thing of laundry.
They're heavy.
Like, that's not good for her.
Right. The ones at Costco, like, oh my God, there's containers. But some of them, I'm like, I could not lift that.
Let's not even forget the amount of water it takes to produce the plastic jug to begin with.
Right.
Right. So it takes almost as much water to produce the plastic the container comes in as it does with the water it contains.
Yeah, this is a water problem. Okay. So with every 32 load eco strip purchased from you guys, you eliminate one plastic jug and other single-use plastics from ending up in landfills.
Mm-hmm.
Correct?
Yeah, that's our battle. Our battle is against the plastic container because it's not necessary. We have invented it. We have proven that it is not necessary. And our greatest hope is that every other cleaning company and every other cleaning product can one day come in a condensed strip. So it can be put in a cardboard package, just like us. So it can go in your compost bin or your recycle bin and we never see it again. We don't need to recycle because it doesn't work. 8% of what you put in your recycle bin gets recycled.
Only 8%? Is that right?
8.
Oh, geez. Wow. So even if you're recycling, talk about a false sense of doing good, right?
Right.
Well, you still should do it, but right. Yeah.
You should absolutely do it. It depends on your municipality, like where you live and the capacities that they have. And some states do it really, really well. Some states are incredible at it and recycle at a very high level.
Mm-hmm.
But let's forget about recycling. Let's just not buy it to begin with.
We didn't have plastics, pre-industrial revolution. I mean, we can go back to that. It's like grandma. I always say what grandma used to use, going back to the basics.
Remember when we washed our hands with a bar of soap?
Yeah, right. Can you imagine?
Instead of companies that are now giving us a plastic bottle full of water. And then they decided
and then chemicals.
We also needed it to foam up.
Yeah.
And so then they added air. So then we even got less stuff.
Wow.
Folks, it's a bar. So let's just go back to the good old
basics.
That's a twofer. So buy your eco laundry strip and buy a bar of soap.
Yeah, there you go.
Good tip.
I know. Soap is like amazing. Well, and so, I'm seeing some big brand, I say toxic conventional laundry product companies coming out with strips. What are some misconceptions that people have related to earth-friendly cleaning products? Give our listeners some tips on why they shouldn't be using that conventional brand. What's different about True Earth?
So remember that whole list? I think it was Ron that was reading at the beginning of all of the killer products. So we don't have any of that for starters. But I think probably the biggest misconception for people might be that it's not as effective. How could this little tiny condensed thing be as effective as my, multiple pods or my glug, 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 glug of liquid? Because the reality is most people use more laundry detergent than they actually need. Because bigger's better, right? If you have that cup and it's got the 4 lines, it's like, oh, extra small, small, medium, large. I mean, we all just go like, more is better.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
You got dirty clothes, you think you need more.
Exactly. Mm-hmm. Which is not true. Mm-hmm. What you need is a highly concentrated strip.
Yeah. And the high efficiency washers have really changed everything because remember when we first got ours, Ron, we were putting in the regular amount of laundry detergent.
Right.
And we were like, oh, what are these white, I would get white, what is it? residue all over like black pants and stuff. And I was like, what is going on? And then we realized, oh my God, we don't really need to use.
Then we're like, oh, it requires more rinsing. So we did more rinse cycles, wasting more water, right?
Yeah, we were wasting more water.
Not
Right.
anymore. That was the old us. That was the old us. That was before. Yeah.
Well, it's pre-measured for a reason. Pre-measured. Like literally one strip, one load. You just throw it in
Yours
there.
is pre-measured. You can't goof it up. Well, okay, so you have a strip, you tear it off. It's very tiny. If you were going to do a half a load, would you tear that strip in half? Ding.
Bonus marks.
Ding, 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 ding. I get a point.
You get a point. And again, I mean, this is a good conversation to talk about. Are you refreshing or are you washing? What are you doing? You know, have you just been to the gym, the two of you, and you feel like, yeah, that was a pretty good workout. Like, we need to wash those clothes. Then, put that full strip in there and do your clothes. Right? But is it just refreshing? Is it just something that you feel like it was sort of gently used, but we're going on vacation maybe, and we want to just do a refresh? You can use less, right?
Just use less.
I mean,
just
none of us on this call, I don't think, are like farm workers who are actually getting dirty, who need to actually wash our clothes because it has dirt and stain.
We're not climbing in the jungle gym in the playground, I don't think, Anita. I don't think you are.
Right. You need to make that decision, right? And then the other thing I would love to encourage your listeners to do is to wash on gentle every time, every single time. You just never change it. You just go gentle.
Really?
Why is that? Because your machine can go like this, nice and gentle, protecting your clothing, helping them last longer. Or you can bang them around like you think you like need to nuke your clothes. Like you don't need to do that. And the other thing it will mean that many of us are washing polyesters. It will reduce the amount of microplastics that enter the water system because you're not banging it.
You're
right?
not banging
Just
it.
like,
wow, that friction is creating the microplastics to be
going
really
gentle.
Interesting.
And also on cold water. Let's talk about the misconception of having to wash in hot water because hot water cleans things better.
Right.
Not true.
Not true.
Is that not true? Oh, wow.
I thought that was just for whites and lights, right? You always did cold for darks and hot for lights.
Cold for everything.
Cold
gentle for everything. Eco strip for everything.
Wow.
Okay,
so be amazed.
If I have a very special item that I sometimes, that requires a hand wash, and I'll put it on gentle and put it in maybe by itself, especially if it's something new and I'm worried about it bleeding or running. How much would I
in one of those great bags, right?
The bag,
those laundry bags, which really protect your clothing, right?
Right, that's good.
I mean, I would never say you should only wash one item, right? Because that's a waste of electricity, that's a waste of water. But if you have a handful of items, are you in trouble?
I'm in trouble.
Well, I mean, part of that is we got to live our lives, though, right?
Yeah,
we got to do who we are, and sometimes you just need those items.
Sometimes, if you're worried if it's new and you're worried that it might run, I've made that mistake. So yeah.
So you can either use a quarter strip, or guess what? Those strips can go in your sink or in a bucket as well. So you can use it for hand washing. In your sink or in a laundry tub or a small bucket, whatever you happen to have.
Well, Anita, it's refreshing. It's refreshing the fact that you're giving suggestions and tips for people to use a quarter of your strip, right? Very contradictory to some companies who are saying, why don't you just double the load, right? So you can buy more and more jugs. It really shows your character there, and that's much appreciated. In addition to what you're giving all these tips with in regards to laundry and washing clothes, I understand educating consumers is important to True Earth, but can you share with someone listening who's just learning about healthy and sustainable cleaning solutions, something earth-shattering they should just know?
Okay. I think I would say that you should just give yourself a break for starters. You should give yourself some grace. If you're just starting on this journey, that you shouldn't try to make all the changes all at one time and make this like grand plan like you do for New Year's, like I'm going to lose 50 pounds and organize my life and fix my relationship. Let's not do that. Let's just make one small change.
Yeah.
The change I would encourage is for your listeners to look at the ingredients that are on the package. So federal U.S. guidelines do not require companies to include cleaning product ingredients on their packaging. Woo!
Yeah. Okay.
Right?
There's the bombshell.
Right.
There's the bombshell. Yeah, exactly.
Okay. So you will find on all of our packaging, our ingredients are listed right there for everyone to see. You can go onto true.earth and you can see all of those ingredients because we should know when we are purchasing the things that we are putting on our bodies, near our bodies.
Sleeping on, if it's our sheets, sleeping on, using our towels to bathe in. Yeah, we don't realize like our clothes, like how much contact it's having with our skin, like we talked about. And then these chemicals that we mentioned at the top of the show that you do find in conventional cleaning, laundry products and cleaning products. But like you said, consumers don't know because if they're not required to list the ingredients, and most of them don't, you're kind of guessing by their marketing terms. You're guessing by the label. You're guessing by natural, which means absolutely nothing, or a green leaf, which means absolutely nothing, right?
Or
And
a green package, which I love. I love a green
package.
As if like that's going to confuse the consumer. Well, guess what though? It does.
It
Right?
does.
When you're
It
standing in
works.
the aisle and you're trying to figure out, or you're online, you're trying to figure it out. For me, I would look for certifications that matter.
Right.
Though,
Yes.
ones that matter, like Made Safe matters. EPA matters. Safer Choice matters.
Right.
And I'm going to throw it out as a B Corp certified organization. B Corps go under this huge scrutiny before they can be certified, before you can see that on there. So I would encourage your listeners, like, take a minute, because remember, we're only making one change at a time, one product at a time. And my other key is that don't try to make the change until your current product is empty.
Right. We don't want to go throwing out and wasting stuff.
Do not throw a perfectly good product. So the next time you're out of laundry detergent is the time to make the choice. Do the research, read the ingredients, try to understand what the certifications mean, and then make a new choice at that point and eradicate the old. And don't try to do 1,000 things at one time.
That's a great point. People will they'll do what they do on a diet when they kind of set the goal like absurdly, like unreachable. They'll just get discouraged, right? And they'll say, forget it. I can't do all of this. So they won't do anything. Whereas you're right. Like just changing your laundry detergent today is going to have a marked improve on your health, on the health of the environment, on your wallet. Obviously, we didn't even talk about that, but the money that we're saving by reducing all of this plastic and water, shipping and waste and all of that. And, the chemicals.
And one key tip is look for that concentrated cleaning products in any of your household cleaning.
In anything,
right?
Yeah.
Like if it's concentrated, it's going to have all those benefits.
Yeah.
Less packaging, less water.
Right.
Less cost. I mean, anytime you can cut down.
Yeah, except for like there are big brands that do have these strips that are still loaded with chemicals. So I do want listeners to understand that just because it's a strip doesn't mean it's healthy. It's the company and it's the certification. So you guys use no phosphates, no artificial dyes, no parabens, no bleach, anything else that I forgot?
1.4 dioxin.
1,4 dioxin.
Right.
Say no to 1,4 dioxin.
Don't want that cancer. People are like, what? A cancer-causing chemical in my laundry detergent? Yeah, it's allowed because it's a byproduct. And then you guys are also vegan, which Ron and I are vegan. So we were happy to find that out.
Yay to the vegans.
Oh, I'm an evolving vegan.
Okay.
Baby steps, right? Back to that baby step thing.
So yeah, I don't eat meat and I have tons of nut allergies. Maybe some of your listeners have the same problem. So many of the substitutes for proteins are nut-based. And so I do eat a bit of fish, but I'm trying really hard. And oh man, I just love cheese.
Well, that's the last thing that usually people give up on the vegan journey is cheese. And for me, it was seafood because I love seafood. I didn't like meat. I didn't like chicken. I don't like any of that. Or eggs or milk.
Anita, have you tried pea milk before?
Pea protein is really good.
Oh my, it's phenomenal. I don't know if they have it in Canada, but it's
all right. I'm going to find it.
Ripple pea milk. This is our go-to. And if you get the unsweetened version, they're not a sponsor of the show. I actually just love it.
We're going on a tangent.
I said we're going to tangent, but I highly recommend it. Very good. Yeah.
Okay. Thanks for the tip.
Maybe they should sponsor. It's got more calcium than milk. It's got tons of B vitamins. It's really delicious. Pea protein, hemp protein. So there's a lot of good. But, this brings back to the point that like we've been vegan 8 years. I've been vegetarian since I was 17. This is a journey. Like it's a really long journey that it took to finally say, I'm going in full, right? If I tried to do that at the beginning, I wouldn't have done it. It wouldn't have happened. So like, I always
don't be binary. Like it doesn't need to be all or nothing. And we don't need to compete against each other. It doesn't need to be like, you're a vegan, you're the best, and you eat meat and you're the worst. Like if the mass majority of folks just had like a meatless Monday, we would reduce our meat intake.
It's huge. The amount, I've read those stats and it's staggering. Just one day a week for a lot of people makes such a big difference.
Huge difference. Yeah.
Wow. Well, sometimes it can be hard to make a change. And you kind of talked about this earlier, but what's your advice to listeners who are looking to make their first eco swap? What would their first one be, Anita?
Yeah, I think for me,
laundry.
Eco anxiety is a real thing, right? Like this is really hard for people to get quickly overwhelmed and I don't know how to make the right change. And I just get so overwhelmed. And so of course I'm going to say laundry because it's the easiest thing. It's the healthiest choice, right? Like I think for me, that is the easiest one. But also, I think it could start with just an inventory of your house. You could just look at your recycle bin, or you could look like under the sink or wherever you keep your cleaning products and just congratulate yourself on the things you're already doing well.
Right. We don't do that enough, right? Like give yourself a pat on the back for what you are doing. Right. And that
if you've
inspires
given up
you
like
more.
paper towels and you're now using like a Swedish cloth, yay you, right?
Yeah.
If you're using a toothpaste tab instead of like a plastic bottle of toothpaste, yay you. So I think the first thing is to just congratulate yourself for even wanting to try.
Yeah.
Take a first step and find some really good folks to follow, like the two of you, who can give you pretty simple advice and advice that you trust. Right?
Yeah.
So that for me is, yes, of course, I want you to do laundry. I want you to just try it today and see what you think and talk to someone who's used it, right? Hit us up on social media and you'll get the reviews. And we're pretty open. We throw it all out there.
Yeah. Transparency.
30-day money back guaranteed.
Your readers are your best feedback, right? Your consumers give you all the feedback.
And some of the greatest success we have, which was ridiculous, we did a sale a couple of years ago around Valentine's Day, and we were encouraging people to give laundry detergent on Valentine's Day. And that worked.
It
and
worked.
Then we started doing like
Were there
stocking
divorces
stuffers.
afterward? Were there breakups and divorces?
No. Stocking
You gave me
stuffers around
what?
Christmas. Like people are actually starting to give earth-friendly products to their family members because they get so excited about it. So for us, we know that sampling works. So we just want you to give it a try.
Sampling does work. Oh yeah. I find so many products we use were from sampling. Okay. So we talked so much about laundry detergent, but what other products do you guys have in your lineup?
Our latest project is fabric softener. For those who really want those, those sheets and towels to be super soft, we'd love for you to try our brand new fabric softener.
Okay.
But our goal is to have every cleaning product in an eco strip. So we also have a toilet bowl cleaner. So if you want to join the battle to eradicate the plastic duck, I don't know if you have that plastic duck in your house. Ours is a strip. You literally, again, you just throw it in the toilet bowl. You leave it for 5 minutes. You walk away. It turns blue because everybody thinks that blue is a cleaning thing. That's another myth.
Oh,
The color blue is actually,
Right.
We tried it as white because we're trying to get rid of all those dyes because they're not good for us. And consumers are like, but it's not blue. So we added a little bit of blue just to make it blue.
wow. But you still have to scrub it. You don't just drop it in and walk away.
Totally. Everything. I mean, we're all dirty. You gotta scrub some stuff.
Okay.
Okay.
The other thing we have is a household cleaner. So again, you take any bottle that you currently have, glass or plastic, God forbid, and you just put the strip in, add some hot water, shake it up.
Oh, that's genius.
And that will get rid of that piece. We also have a dishwasher tab. We're trying to take on the kitchen as well with our dishwasher tab.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Will
And
the
then
dishwasher be a strip then? The dishwasher?
So it's actually a tab.
A tab. Okay.
Unfortunately, yeah, it kind of looks like a stick of gum, a little wider than a stick of gum.
Oh, gotcha. Okay.
Unfortunately, the dishwashers are not made for strips. They're made for liquid. They're made for pods. And so we don't want you to throw it in because it does need to heat up and do the act of the dishwasher.
Right.
So the door does need to open. You could use it in strip format, but it would require the end user to like roll it up.
Fold it. Yeah, that's what I
and
was
put
thinking.
it in.
Okay. So it would
And
work.
we're all about the consumer experience too. People would be confused, like, what am I supposed to do with this? Does this actually work? And so we decided to go with a tab so that it fits in the manufacturer's drawers that you currently.
Yeah.
Okay.
And how do you feel about the pods? Because I have seen debates on threads online about this. Obviously, the pods have lots of downsides, especially the conventional ones. However, the debate is some people say the plastic's 100% biodegradable. And then I've heard that's actually not true. What do you think about that?
Yeah, I mean, part of it is what I can talk about is what we're trying to do. So anything that eradicates the plastic packaging, I'm all there for.
Right.
That is a really important piece. But yeah, we do not want plastics entering our water system.
Right.
We just don't want that happening. It's not good for our health, for sure. So, our battle against those short-lived plastics and those single use, if we can eradicate that, then that's a good choice to make. But again, look at the ingredients, look at the certifications. What is it that you want to be putting onto your skin? Because we know that we breathe in all of those chemicals, even in our household as well.
Oh, and as a consumer, I have a suggestion. Can you guys please come up with a better dryer sheet? I don't use dryer sheets. I use wool balls, but so many people, same thing. They need that dryer sheet. It makes them feel better. They're used to it. And the pollution.
Already did it.
Oh, you already did it.
We already did it with our fabric softener.
Oh, the
Right.
fabric softener.
So
Okay.
our fabric softener is actually a 3-in-1. So it replaces your liquid fabric softener that you would have right now. It replaces that dryer sheet. And it also, if you like fragrance, it'll redo your fragrance as well. So it's a 3-in-1. It goes in where your clothes go.
Is the fragrance like a non-toxic fragrance, essential oils? I know you have no parabens, which is a big part of fragrances,
Yeah. And
Earth Valley.
that's part of our journey, is to get even better fragrance. I mean, the best option is go fragrance free. Because you
have a
really
fragrance free. You don't.
Yes.
No. Fragrance. Is that your best seller, your fragrance free detergent?
Yeah. So the fresh linen really is the number one in terms of that. But the second, certainly an up and coming, is anything that's fragrance free. And that would be my tip for folks is, do you really need the fragrance?
I know.
Right.
Because there's so many allergens. Yeah. People have allergies to fragrance, even essential oils. I mean, some people really even react to that. So fragrance free.
And that's what we find with moms, right? We have a baby laundry strip as well, because we know that, new moms do not want to put anything near their little babies. They want it to be fragrance free. But that's consumer behavior. That's the world telling us that we can add, fragrances to everything. And I mean, most public places don't want you wearing fragrances now. So why do you need it on your laundry?
Yeah.
Anita, did you mention earlier that your mom is 88 years old?
Yes, she is. Fabulous Mother Marilyn.
Wait, how is that possible? It doesn't seem, I'm looking at you. You don't look like you have a mother who's
had her really late.
No,
I was trying to figure it out.
Oh, okay. So that's part of it. And, my mom's, she's been an environmentalist since I was born.
Oh, wow.
Right. She was a huge, huge environmentalist way back when. She used to, remember when we used to can everything in season? And so you actually had it all year round where you just ate food that was in season.
Wow. No, we didn't do that. My family did not do that.
Right.
But I knew people that did. Yeah, no, that's cool.
I wonder what your inspiration was, Anita. So your mom inspired you and now you're doing great work yourself. A question that people are all asking right now is, okay, we talked about all these wonderful products. Where can we buy True Earth products?
Awesome question. So if you go to our website, true.earth, not .com, not .ca, .earth.
.earth.
Actually,
right.
It's an extension.
Love
they
it,
can hit the find a retailer near me, boom. And you can find every state in the US, what's the local, if you want to go out to a retailer, which I recommend. Let's go back to retailers. Let's be able to touch and feel the product.
I know.
Because that will allow you to
those
turn it over
retailers.
and look at the ingredients and look at the certifications, which, often is difficult. But that's not for everybody. So if you want to buy it on Costco.com, do that. If you want to go on Amazon, go ahead and do that. Amazon is a great platform for comparing and contrasting and making those decisions.
Yeah.
So wherever you buy it, just make sure that you're looking at the certifications, that you're looking at the ingredients that you know.
Tell our listeners one last time what certifications you guys have. Is it the EPA Safer Choice?
Yep, exactly. Okay. And the B Corp really is the one that we stand on because it is so all-encompassing. It's so difficult to get. And it does all the third-party verification. And that's what I say to folks. A green leaf doesn't actually mean anything. It isn't certified by anyone, right? Use the things. And then
don't get greenwashed, guys. I'm wearing green today for this episode.
Nice. I like
that. Don't get greenwashed, okay? We have a whole bundle that we sell on that, helping people understand how to shop safer, what terms mean, how not to get bamboozled by marketing terms at the grocery store.
I'm going to have to watch that one. Amazing.
Yeah. It's a bundle. It's in our store. So it's like a download that we sell.
Oh, amazing.
Well, this was amazing, Anita. Thank you so much for being with us.
Can I say one more thing?
Yes, please leave it.
I just want to say, we also have a huge donation program. And so for every $25 that one of your listeners would buy anywhere, retail, online, or in-store, we will donate a month's worth of laundry to someone in need in a community near them.
In a community? Wow.
Yeah.
Do they pick the person? I'm guessing not. That would get...
No, they do not. We'd love to get to that point where we could do a drop down to say, this is the organization meant for me. But Feeding America is our national partner. And so we rely on them to decide where the greatest need is to then get that product out. Because what we know to be true is that many environmental products are way out of reach for folks that are living at or below the poverty line. So we want to do our share. And that means our consumers are doing our share. So when you buy True Earth, someone else is getting laundry.
You're paying, you're greening it forward. You're literally
proud of
greening forward. Okay. And you guys, how many donations have you given so far? I know the number, but I'm quizzing you, Anita. How much have you donated?
So we're just over 38 million eco strips in
Wow.
the 4 years since the program began.
Oh my God,
only
38
4
million in 4 years. Woo!
Isn't that crazy?
That's amazing.
Wow.
It's like $20 million worth of retail value.
Oh my God.
Wow.
So ask Amazon how much they've given away recently, and then ask a teeny tiny little Canadian company how much
Exactly.
has done.
Shop small, guys. Support the small company. Not that you guys are teeny, but in fact, I looked up my zip code to see where you're sold, and it's like every store near me, whether it's a regular grocery store like a Ralph's or a more boutique, not boutique, but like health food oriented.
Yeah.
Gelson's or Bristol Farms or that Mother's. I think Mother's you're at.
But yeah.
Mother's Market. So yeah, you guys, there's no excuse. This is very readily available, whether, like she said, whether you're an Amazon person, but it really is important to shop local and support those retailers and support those small companies that are doing the right job and that we're doing the right job from the beginning, right?
Yeah, and if you have a retailer that isn't carrying it, then talk to your store manager and say, I want a different choice. And I don't want that choice to be way buried in the health food section or the healthy cleaning section.
Yes.
Because what we know to be true is if we want Americans to pick this up, it has to be a part of the choice. So it needs to be in the same aisle with everyone else so we can do that comparison and we can reach it out. And I'm all for let's put earth-friendly product at eyesight instead of at the top or at the bottom.
That's a good point.
See it. So sometimes you have to bend down or look up to get our product, but know that we're there.
Get your exercise while you're going down the aisle. Do a little yoga in the aisle. grab your strips. Do a flip while you're at it.
Namaste.
Well, that is awesome, Anita. Thank you so much for being with us today. And you can learn more about True Earth's products and mission at True, and that's TRU, true.earth. How easy is that?
As always, thanks for being with us, guys. We'll have all the links in the show notes at ronalisa.com/podcast. Join us in 2 weeks for another episode and get ready to up-level your health. Bye. And thanks, Anita. Bravo.
Bye, Anita. Thanks, everybody.
Yay.
Bye.
This episode of the Healthy Home Hacks podcast has ended, but be sure to subscribe for more healthy living strategies and tactics to help you create the healthy home you've always dreamed of. And don't forget to rate and review so we can continue to bring you the best content. See you on the next episode.